So it's time for the next episode of The Leopards Are Feasting. No news anchors today, just me and Persephone. We're going to get into this Reddit post, a betrayal of sacrifice, a veteran's plea for dignity. Now, since he's made it into the Leopards Are Feasting post, you know that, yes, this man actually voted for Donald Trump. But let's look at his post. These past 4 weeks have been devastating. Last week, I sat in my car waiting for my little girl to get out of school, and I cried. I served this country in Iraq, Afghanistan, and East Africa. When I came home, I struggled to make ends meet. No one was hiring a gunner. Eventually, I decided to use my GI Bill, not just for an education, but because I needed the extra cash. During that time, I earned my degree and landed a federal job. I was the first in my family to earn a degree and the first to work for the federal government. I loved my job. It was advertised as remote work, which made it possible for me to do my job well. Getting in and out of my car with a wheelchair is exhausting, and parking is always a hassle. Working from home gave me some relief in a life that has been anything but easy. Then I saw the return to office executive order, and I knew it was going to get worse. I was right. The past few weeks have been nothing short of terrifying. I fear for my family. I fear for myself. I'd be lying if I say I hadn't had dark thoughts I don't want to have. I was told I had to return to the office. I was told my reasonable accommodation would no longer be authorized. I feel betrayed by this country, by this government. I gave everything, and now I feel like I have nothing left to give. This I pray. This man's post has been deleted because people started figuring out that he was, in fact, a Trumper. How are you going to be in a wheelchair and a veteran and vote for Donald Trump? They do not realize that the A stands for accessibility. They really thought that DEIA simply meant these Black folks are getting hired and they didn't deserve it. These women are out here getting jobs and they didn't deserve it. No, it stands for including people that might need some accommodations like this person. This person's comment starts out with some sympathy. All right, Contest Inside says, brother, I hear you. I did 6 tours myself, lost a leg, got shrapnel all over my right arm and lower back. Been in government service for a decade, serving from 2000 to 2012. I love my agency and believe in our mission, but it's sickening to see how the public views us as villains. There are 600,000 of us serving as federal employees, and every day I pray my brothers and sisters in arms stay strong. I know that for some, losing their job could be the breaking point, and that thought weighs heavy on me. Drop me a line if you ever need to vent or shoot the man. Stay strong. Here's the edit. I see you voted for Trump. I still have your back because he manipulated so many people, but come on. The signs were there, bro. And then at the bottom, he says, I nearly threw my prosthetic at my computer monitor when I saw you voted for Trump, to be honest. I'm going to make what this says a bit bigger as far as normal guy when he is talking about how he's voting for Trump. Acceptable Back commented and made a post about what normal guy said, saying, OP rabidly defended Trump and proudly voted for him because he said he would hurt immigrants. He didn't think Trump would take his job and hurt him and his family. And so this is what normal guy said. It was too small to read. It says, as someone who considers himself a moderate independent who voted for Trump the first time and Biden the second time, myself and my family will all be voting for Trump no matter who runs against him. The reasons are simple. We don't like our dollars going to Ukraine, and we don't like the handling of the border and immigrants. We live in Northern Virginia, and most people I talk to in this area agree anyone but Biden, similar to how it was anyone but Trump in 2020. The Democrats running Biden against Trump is why Trump is going to win. So they voted for this, him and all of his family. Motown Cat Mom says the ultra-right have been softening up their marks for years by telling them over and over again that Fed workers were the enemy. People began to believe it. Enough of them want to gut the civil service. This is all part of their horrendous plan for all of us. This is another comment from Normal Guy. He said, I love Orange Man now. He defines a true American with his flaws and all, as no one is perfect, but it's not about being perfect. It's about one's love of the country and doing your best to help your country first, and then focus on others instead of focusing on others and then your country. And now his vote and his love of Orange Man has him in this situation. So precarious. I wonder how they sit and try to, make that make sense in their own brains. Zadia says leopard meat faces. And then Dankis Meemore says the classic right-wing victim complex. No introspection or self-reflection or intent to learn and grow and change. Just glee at the suffering of others until it affects them. Then it's everyone else's job to fix it. And Emotional Mead says, no sympathy. Our sympathy was when we tried to convince them. They did this to themselves and us. This commenter gets it. It's absolutely unreal. And he just thought he'd post this plea for sympathy and no one would check his Reddit history. I can honestly believe he would be stupid enough to vote for Trump. I'm starting to think that once this is all over, they shouldn't get to vote again for a while. Sorry if that sounds undemocratic, but I'm not feeling particularly gracious towards these moronic traitors. And then same person says, OP was obviously a DEI hire since he doesn't know proper grammar on how to spell. Is he part of the waste Elon Musk is talking about? I think so. And that's because he needed accommodation and he was a veteran. Yes, he is a DEI hire. This post is honestly sad. It's titled, In Mississippi, the Beasts Feast While the Babies Starve. So this was a Facebook post. Prentiss County Sheriff's Department posted, our food giveaway is suspended until further notice. We have been notified by Mid-South Food Bank that funding has been suspended and we won't receive any deliveries until otherwise notified. Continue to watch our Facebook pages in the event something changes. So here's the letter from Mid-South Food Bank. It says, Dear valued partners and clients, between 2019 and 2021, Mid-South Food Bank, alongside numerous nonprofits and corporate partners, received vital government assistance aimed at helping individuals and families regain stability faced with the hardships of the COVID-19 pandemic. As we enter the new year, we are taking the opportunity to evaluate and reflect several programs initiated in response to the heightened community needs during this challenging period and how they align with our core business model. The first program evaluated is our mobile pantry program. During COVID, many of our beloved partners had to close due to social distancing and other pandemic-related issues. Due to support from Tennessee Department of Emergency Management, our local food donors, and the amount of funds we received, we had all the resources to significantly increase the program outreach across our 31 county service area. However, as we transition into this new year, the funds supporting this program have run out. While fundraising continues, the expense to run this program outside of our core distribution models continues to outpace fundraising, and we have no other choice but to suspend added routes that were initiated early 2020. We recognize how this decision may impact our neighbors who relied on this service. However, we want to assure you that we will continue to provide essential support through our core programs, such as our brick and mortar pantries, soup kitchens, and pantry supported deliveries, which remain committed to serving those in need. The rush of COVID-related money from donors, foundations, and the government is over, but the demand for services remains high. So no more funding for these impoverished states. Many of these states voted for Republicans. They voted for MAGA. And now MAGA is slashing these funds that they see as inconsequential and inefficient. Mamu Magoo says, food insecurity is about to ramp up everywhere in the United States. I'm a former food shelf employee, current volunteer. The organization I work with receives weekly deliveries from 2 partner organizations. One of those deliveries had 0 canned or shelf-stable foods. The other was a pretty normal delivery. I live in a blue state that has a lot of social programs and generous community members. So while we might not have eggs, our food shelves will continue. Community food need never really retreated post-COVID and really ramped up with food inflation. We had pro-Trump clients at our food shelf. And honestly, the social workers I worked with were the most amazing people for listening to them complain without pointing out the hypocrisy. Day in and day out, people would complain about every group outside of themselves taking money from the government, then go shopping for free food. So much disconnect. There's just so much hypocrisy. Programmer Available says they're also planning to cut SNAP, so there won't even be that for poor children and families. And it's about to really get jacked up as we enter into spring break and summer break. So kids are just not going to have any food. But that's what MAGA wants, I guess. Poor families and poor children. More faces to be devoured. My typical news anchors are out eating faces, so it's just me and Persephone today. Still so many stories to get to. So here we have Jules. Jules says, for the record, I am not tired of winning yet. She said this on November 9th. Jules says, for the record, I am not tired of winning. On January 21st, she says, the last 12 hours have been a whirlwind of late night executive sessions and a giant amount of work behind the scenes. Trump's actually doing it. He's draining the swamp. It's happening. It's practically a new country, America 2.0, a long overdue upgrade. Hashtag inauguration 2025. She does not realize that she is part of the swamp that gets drained. She's part of the swamp. So let's continue to the next post. So just yesterday, February 13th, she shared this article and she tagged Donald Trump and Elon Musk this time. This is such BS. Just because I'm a new government worker and I'm still on probation at 7 months doesn't mean I'm a worker. This is just making me mad. And then yesterday as well, still tagging Trump and Musk. This is such BS. Just because you're on probation doesn't mean you're a worker. Like, I don't understand. I voted for you, but you're just making me mad. Maybe go after the workers that have been entrenched in the government for years. I wonder if she's tired of winning now. All right, some of the comments. Familiar Secretary says, you're just making me mad. It's such a maggot thing to say. It could have come out of Donald's mouth himself. And then Light Warrior says, I'm mad at you, but I'll keep voting for you. And then Steamshipper says, it keeps breaking down, but I love this truck. Sadie Carnot says, this is what gets me about Trump voters. If you get one that knows a little bit more than the Fox lies, there's nothing they actually like about the guy. All they're left with is, I voted for Trump because Harris laughs too much. Meanwhile, there are voters who loved Harris, but could not vote for her because of one thing. So here's a post from the forestry subreddit. I'm never in the forestry subreddit. Someone sent me this. It says, U.S. Forest Service to terminate 3,400 workers, union leader says. The OP says, I'm hearing that all Forest Service probationary employees without a previous year of competitive service are being fired. And then this person, the forester, says, can confirm. Here's the article that was put out yesterday. U.S. Forestry Service is about to terminate 3,400 employees, the agency union president told Bloomberg Law. Warner Vanderhoel, president of the Forest Service Council, said employees that will remain with the agency include firefighters, law enforcement officers, meteorologists, and bridge inspectors. The agency notified the union on Thursday morning. The Forest Service is responsible for managing public lands, including forests and grasslands. It also helps manage wildfires. The union represents more than 20,000 Forest Service workers stationed across the U.S. Donald Trump directed agency heads February 11th to undertake preparations to initiate large-scale reductions in force that focus on firing workers who perform functions not mandated by statute, including diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. So Soil and Things said, yep, happening on my forest. Intaro Protoss says, happened at my buddy's forest this way today. And then this person says, crazy part is a lot of the forestry guys are huge Trumpers. So many of these people voted for themselves to be canned. And then the person at the bottom said, farmers too. Who could have predicted, especially the farmers situation, considering what happened in the first term? But yeah, they voted for him too. Okay, so Kira, this person right here, and I guess she is a conservative in media or something, but she made this post where she posted a video of herself. She said, "Today, my Canadian mother sent me a message via social media. Says she cannot celebrate the graduation of our two children this June because of Trump. I never thought I would be this person, but here we are." And then she retweeted herself saying, "The number of private responses I've gotten saying me too is heartbreaking. I was worried about posting something this personal, but now I see people need to hear it. This battle isn't just one of politics. This truly is for the soul of our nation and for peace." Now, please keep in mind that Trump has basically said that he wants to annex Canada and make them a second, the 51st state. And they're like, no. And then all of the tariffs and the trade war, the Trump tariffs and the Trump trade war with Canada for whatever reason. That is the reason why Canadians are protesting. They're boycotting. They are not coming to the United States. They are not buying American products. And America kind of deserves that. But then you got people in her comments like crying, like, oh my God, they just have Trump derangement syndrome and blah, blah, blah. But the woman specifically said because of tariffs.
My husband got a message from my mom this morning. We were trying to figure out how to get her here from Canada. She's Canadian, for the graduations of my son from college and my daughter from high school. Making plans, and she told my husband that she does not think she can participate in our family celebrations because of Trump, and ostensibly because of our support of Trump. We're Trump voters, and obviously I have a job in conservative media. And she said that, I guess her words were, "You don't threaten your closest friends and allies with 25% tariffs. I can't set foot on U.S. soil while Orange Bad Man is president." So I guess for the next 4 years, we won't see my mother, or she won't see her grandchildren, or try to see them. And then I guess hopefully we all live through the next 4 years. And there's no tragedies that you can't come back from. I never thought I would be this person. I would look at other people post stories about how, my daughter cut me off, or my brother cut me off because of Trump. And I thought, I would always think, oh, that's terrible. That will never happen in my family. Thank God my family's not like that. And apparently we are. I just want everyone to know that my mom's never met Trump. I've never met Trump. No one in my family has ever met Trump. We will probably never meet Trump. Donald Trump is not coming to our high school graduation or our college graduation, and I don't think he's been invited. He will not be with my mother when she's on her deathbed. He will not be with my daughter when she's walking down the aisle. He will not be with my son when he has his first child. Those are all moments for family. And those are all moments that my mom has chosen to because of a man neither of us knows. This is an infection. It's an infection.
All right, some of the comments. Mary says, "I credit the mainstream media and Intel for their success in fomenting hate, not Trump for trying to push a trade war and annexing Canada. No, it's the media." Duke says, "I have friends that would stop talking to me if they knew my politics, but so far I haven't had this issue with any of my family. I'm sorry that anyone is going through this. The political spectrum should never have hit this level, but it's all because of Donald Trump. Like, that mother would have gone to go visit, the kids and seen the graduation, if not for a boycott of America." Expansive thinks it'll pass. Good things are coming, and they cannot keep up the game in the face of relentless good news. John says, "Me too. My sons haven't spoken to me in over 5 years." Bill says, "This is largely a spiritual battle playing out. Keep your family and faith close. You will need them. Hopefully your mother will come around at some point. Maybe if Trump starts acting better to other countries, maybe it'll happen." But this person, Tracy, says, "This is not a mother. Nothing my children would say or do could separate me from them. Sending a virtual hug." hold on. What if they come out as gay? What about that? What if they were on a member of the LGBTQ community? Because I am old enough to remember when these Christian parents would simply push their family members out for being gay. Am I misremembering any of that? Jim says, I have 2 nieces who haven't spoken to me in years because of politics. Funny part is, I never discussed politics with them. They just cut me off because. Okay, you really think people are stupid, Jim? All right, let's look at, I went to the Canadian subreddit because the Canadian subreddit, they are about it. They are not coming here. They do not want any part of America. This is part of the Canadian subreddit and some of the posts. Don't test us, Trump. It won't end well for you. And this is about going to war. At the bottom, U.S. Travel Association warns of economic tourism disaster after thousands of Canadian tourists cancel trips in protest. Tariff threats driving down Canadian interest in visiting U.S. WestJet CEO says, and I'm going to come back and revisit that. This one says, Trump says Canada serious contender to be 51st state. They need our protection. And like I said, these are just back-to-back posts in the Canadian subreddit. This person says Donald Trump may just cost Canada's conservatives the election. So because of pushback of Donald Trump in Canada, the Liberal Party might actually win. Donald Trump is not joking about making Canada the 51st state. Justin Trudeau warns. Trump belittles Governor Trudeau, saying Canadians need us. This one is about the tariffs. Today is the big one. Trump teases new tariffs. This is the reason why Canadians are pissed. So this is the article I said I was going to come back to. WestJet sees 25% drop in passengers wanting to fly to the United States since tariff talks started. That's the CEO. And this was posted yesterday. Calgary-based WestJet says demand for travel to the United States has been soft over the last few weeks since a possible trade war started brewing between Canada and its biggest trading partner. What we have seen, though, since the tariff announcements is that our sales from Canada into the U.S. have actually dropped very significantly, says Alexis van Hoensbroek, WestJet's chief executive officer. The decrease in interest to fly south has dropped by about 25%, van Hoensbroek said, adding the exchange rate likely has something to do with the falling demand as well. We are watching and we don't know how sustainable this is. These protests, this boycott, they are serious and they are going to cost the United States tourist industry millions of dollars because of it. Anyways, join the conversation. Let me know what you think about all of this. Don't forget to like, comment.
There once was a group with a curious case who thought, let's elect some leopards to chase. They'll munch on the weak, the poor and the lame, but surely for me it won't be the same. Oh no, dear, what's that I see? A leopard is lunging directly at me. I thought I'd be safe, I thought I'd be fine. Now I'm the entree with a nice glass of wine. Arrived all hungry and spry, taking a nibble, oh my. But wait, cried the voters, this wasn't the deal. The leopards just grinned, your face is a meal. So here's a hot tip before you invest in predators, promising you will be next when cheering for feasts. Don't act so surprised when your face is on the menu, freshly tenderized. Oh no, dear, what's that I see? A leopard is lunging directly at me. I thought I'd be safe, I thought I'd be fine. Now I'm the entree with a nice glass of wine. So here's a hot tip before you invest in predators, promising you won't be next when cheering for feasts. Don't act so surprised when your face is on the menu, freshly tenderized. So grab a napkin, let's raise a toast to voters who swore they wouldn't be roast. But when you back beasts, don't whimper or cry, 'cause dinner is served and you are the pie. is a toast to voters who swore they wouldn't be roast. But when you back beasts, don't whimper or cry, 'cause dinner is served and you are the pie.